Alrighty. It's so scary that I could accidentally hit start streaming and like, what if it just worked? I don't know. But anyway, let's get started. I'm so excited to see where this game goes. So can we continue? Oh, we can continue from where we were in the demo. Oh wait, this is not where I was. So no blood, that's right. So how do I... Okay. I'll see you guys in a second when we're back where we left off, I guess. Let's just do a new game. Let's just do a new game. Because we can have the whole little thing in one little package and it'll be nice. And I don't think it's gonna be more than a few hours, you know? I feel like that would be kind of wild. Whoa. Oh! We're getting a whole part that we didn't have before. Oh, okay, so this is my first name. Let's see. Let me see if Google can tell me how it sounds. I'm not sure how it'll, you know, how good it's gonna be, but we'll see.
Fyodorovich.
Do we have the correct...
Did it do it?
pronouncenames.com.
Shut up. Did it work?
Fyodorovich.
I still don't know how to say that. Oh god, it's gonna be terrible. I'm just gonna call him Savin. But guys, know that Ilya, when they say that, that's also him. Because sometimes people do call him by his first name. But when we started the demo, at least I didn't see where anybody called him that. Now, the nice thing is if you're playing the game, you can go into here, and each person that's important that we encounter will show up here with their full name. So that'll make it like way easier. I don't know why I'm looking at the mic to look this way. I'm gonna get used to it, I swear. Okay. So let's... Alright. It's looking pretty good. Alright. So I, Ilya Fyodorovich Savin, an official for special assignments, particularly did not like urgent calls to his superiors. Oh, I said I at the beginning. So, he doesn't like this. But it is us. We're the main character. This is the main character. I'll hush. It always foreshadows some kind of nastiness and complications, or a reprimand, or someone's complaint, or the displeasure from the same superior. But more likely, it's a new confusing case where someone has already suffered the misfortune, or managed to make the situation worse. Okay. The beginning of the investigation. The investigation! Who's this guy? Your Honor, you wanted to see me. I'm so happy we didn't skip this. I don't know why it gave me the opportunity to load a save, and then it was like a save like from like it was like not even halfway through what we got through. Must be some kind of glitch or something, I don't know. Because to me, if they'd keep a save, it would be the whole demo. It wouldn't just be a little tiny section of it. And then I missed all of this. So it really shouldn't save that anyway, because you're missing important stuff. Here we are, old friend. Another complaint against you. Complaint? From whom? Complaint against you. You, my good lord, do not go to God's house. You are not seen at confessions. Beg my pardon. But there is a supreme command that all Russian officials must go to confessions, and last year you didn't visit the church, not even once. And when was the last time you took communion? You don't even remember. As your immediate superior, I'm obliged to demote you for this. Ah, okay. So he's saying that, this guy is a good, like, he's been a good superior. But he's like, okay, I'll step down. There's nothing we can do. And he says, I'm gonna become a private eye. Or I'll become a district court lawyer. But you know that I... something. Don't give me this speech about your libertarian views right now. That's the kind of thing you'd have to meet the secret police department. You simply, I hope you know about the construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway. How can I, Your Excellency? His Majesty the Emperor himself is in charge of this project. Well, the Emperor is upset. There have been a number of mysterious deaths on the western section of the Anagrask tunnel construction site. Something is smiting the workers and engineers. It was decided to find answers to these dark mysteries as soon as possible. Promptly find the responsible ones. We've received a request from the governor there. He doesn't trust his police and asks us to send a competent individual from the capital to look into the matter on the spot. He writes, that the police themselves want someone from outside to take a fresh look. At this point, you'll go to Siberia. Siberia? Yes. This is the place I couldn't pronounce in the demo either. To that place. This is for a start. They will meet you there. So I was kind of like commandeered into this too. Ooh. We get the pictures. Can I pick? Oh, he's moving. Oh, but it kind of is what I'm pointing at. Did the forensic photographer take these pictures? The angle is kind of strange. Now, there's another problem, a mystery, as you like to call it. The forensic photographer had nothing to do with the photos. He didn't take them. It's not clear who did. The photos were intercepted by the local newspaper. They were going to be used to make lithographs for printing. Thanks to the censor, you can find out what's going on in the local police. I am so confused, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Oh, you'll figure it out on the spot. Any more questions? Can I take the photos? Okay. So yeah, these were in my inventory in the main game as well. It's just like the translation sometimes makes me like confused as to how I need to interpret the sentence. But I knew playing from playing the demo that it would be like that. Frankly speaking, immediately. But considering your merits for the good of the cause, I will order to set off Wednesday, the day after tomorrow. Get ready, get fully prepared. If you need anything, telephone me as soon as you arrive. Your ticket has already been booked. Yes, don't forget to visit your parish priest. Bring a note from him that you confessed. This is ridiculous. That they make you, like, well, church and state used to be together, right? Really, really linked. But nowadays it seems so dumb. You know, like, why? Why would you force someone? Like, you know? This is a choice-based game. So, what I get from this game and what happens is based on my choices. And there's multiple different outcomes. It's like Scarlet Hollow. So, know that if you play this, you might not even get... You might get a completely different side of the story, a different side of the coin than I will. So, honestly, this game should have a lot of replayability if they do it well. But we'll see. Kuzmich. I tried. Cuz. Wish you good health. Need your advice. Good day. Show me what you have there, but make it quick. I'll have some work to deal with soon. Here, I want to understand how and what it could have been filmed with. It could have been, okay, taken with. Where'd you get that? Sorry, friend, I can't tell you. There's a mystery here. There's a mystery there. And you know it wasn't filmed on the records. What was it on? There's a machine called a Kodak. I don't have one, just a trade ad. They're invented in America. So somebody from America then did it. Or somebody got this from America to do it. Did we see this picture? Was it in another game? This looks really familiar to me. It could just be like an image, a like free, you know, Getty image or something. You know, it could be in any indie horror or something. You don't need records. It is shot on film, 48 frames on a roll. You can do it handheld with a little skill. But I've never tried it. I think that's how it was photographed. They say you're going to Siberia. Who's talking? I just found out about this assignment. There's always somebody. Rumors are here and there. The people in these lands are harsh, distrustful. They don't like people from the capital. Be careful with them. Okay, I'll try. And here we go. That's where we're going. If you can pronounce it, tell me how to pronounce it, because I have no idea. Oh, it's in the game. Okay. Oh, it's the train, the car, the rail car. Seems like a simple case. What could be out there? Either wild beasts or escaped convicts, whom someone thought of involving in the construction. This isn't St. Petersburg with its intricacies. Okay. Compared to St. Petersburg, this is a very small city. Mostly one-story houses. Occasionally there are three-story houses, but almost all of them are in the center. And on their background, the pompous building of the station stands out especially clear. But the main thing is the bitter frost. Therefore, the bear's coat, fur cap, Malachi, and high fur boots, which Savin had managed to buy in St. Petersburg, came in handy. Okay, so this is all the clothes that we're wearing. Got it. Alrighty. Welcome, Your Honor. What did we call him? Boris? Boris. A local investigator at your service will quickly check you into the hotel, and we can visit the local gentleman's club to rest from the road. Glad to meet you. You have bitter cold spanned. Good thing I had time to buy what I needed before I left. Yeah, good thing, 'cause we're gonna get stranded. Boris, my dear, do get me up to speed, only in a way that in a short time you and I can grasp the full depth of the situation, so to speak, and without much fuss, please. We'll be done, Your Honor. One more favor, don't call me Your Honor, I beg you. Let's save that for someone else, someone more important. Let's keep it simple. Call me by my first name, maybe. That's quite enough. Ilya. Where do we start? What do you guys think? Take a break or get right to the point? I feel like we just got in here. Maybe we should take a break. You mentioned a gentleman's club. I'd like to check it out. Okay, well maybe this will help us bond with him a little bit. Because I didn't really bond with him in the demo. The only thing I did was I took the icon picture, but then I couldn't do the seance, though she was gonna read his, use cards to read him. I didn't think that was a seance, but you know, like to me a seance is, summoning something, right? But I could be totally wrong. Please explain it to me, because I really don't know. I need to play more horror games, I guess, but it might have been a translation thing too, that's why I was asking. Entering the club premises, Savin was a little taken aback. The larger hall was filled with a crowd of drunken customers. Smoke and alcohol vapors hung in the air, creating a stuffy atmosphere. Men were playing cards and billiards, and the few women looked and behaved in a way that left no doubt about their profession. I'll stay. Where are you taking me? Is this what you call a gentleman's club? But if I may. It's alright, Boris. Don't worry so much. This establishment, of course, is not at all like the English club at the Blue Bridge in St. Petersburg, but it's wonderful. I like it. Show me what you've got here. Seven and Boris spent the next few hours playing cards and became thoroughly tipsy. Nevertheless, at the end of the evening, having lost a dozen rubles in cards, the state councillor made a wistful decision to return to his official duties. Fair. If we don't get out of here now, I'm afraid I'll get ripped off. How about another game? No way. We gotta talk to our doctor. Like, the doctor that's gonna travel with us. Ivan. If it's anything like Croatian, it would be Ivan, right? A policeman, as it seems. Eek. Eek. If we don't agree with him, nothing will work out. Not at all, Your Excellency. Just a tired man after a hard day's work. Ah, so he's probably a little drunk. That's why he's making that. He's like, ugh. He's like hiccuping. Greetings, gentlemen. I thought you were talking about me. Greetings. Meet Sabin. He's the state councillor. He needs to go to the morgue. We have to. A morgue. Well, a visit can be arranged. Why not, for the sake of business? Let's have another drink first. Because I'm getting heartsick just remembering that we're going to look at corpses. Refuse. Yeah, I don't want to be too much. So we didn't get any of this. This must be like the first chapter section, maybe. Oh, lovely. We're gonna look at the corpses. This is our sectional room, or room of dead. As gentlemen from newspapers like to say, don't cause trouble. I'm not comfortable here as it is, especially at night. Here you go, gentlemen. Honestly, as long as I've been working, I've never seen anything like this. Looks like the wounds were inflicted by some kind of wild animal. Bites, gnawed limbs, could be a large wolf or a bear. It's hard to tell right off the bat. There are no other animals dangerous for people in those places. No tigers, lynx are small, and they don't attack humans. But let me draw your attention to... Oh my god! She showed up. Calm down, are you drunk? It's only me. Dude, that scared me so bad. Because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think that would be in this game. So, that brings the next question. I mean, everyone just drank, right? So maybe we're hallucinating a little bit. But also, if it is a supernatural thing, that could be an option. In the demo, we also learned that it could be, the doctor was kind of saying that it could be, like, something between, like, a tiger and a leopard. Like, if a tiger and a snow leopard got together. And that can be, like, a very ferocious beast. It's very uncommon, but it could be that. There are, like, other conspiracies, like, it could have to do with the locals or something. You know, the priest could be involved or something. But I also think it could just be someone pretending to be an animal. Like, pretending to make these, using that, they're, like, killing their victims in a way that makes it look like that on purpose. Because this is all based on, like, an ancient tale that's from this specific area in Siberia. So, There's a lot of theories, but that's kind of what we got to in the demo if you didn't watch that. I will also have the link in the description to the demo if you'd prefer to watch that and then maybe check out the game on your own. You know, I also have the Steam link to the game in the description as well, just so that you guys have everything there. I meant to say that at the beginning. I'm getting used to the camera again, and like, you know, it's a lot. It was a lot setting it up. I won't get into it, but it was like, oh, it was giving me issues today. You drunk? It's only me. I forgot what we call her. Andriva? I think we call her that. Her name's a little bit easier to pronounce. For me, at least. What kind of policeman are you? Afraid of every shadow? Not the time for someone coming now. It's a bad time for someone to approach me. So you've got some new victims. So that's who took those pictures. And you're holding a Kodak camera, am I right? Oh yeah, that's a smart one, you guessed it. Oh, maybe you're a smart one. Who are you exactly? I have the honor to introduce myself, State Councilor Ilya Sabin. But who are you? And what exactly are you doing here? Ah, so you're that incognito from St. Petersburg that everyone was waiting for and afraid of. I'm a journalist from this area's news. I have the authorization of the police chief to cover this case. His Excellency, the mayor himself, is interested in the investigation. Boris, who is present here, will confirm it. That's right. That's how things are going. The Andriva girl really writes for the newspaper. She does have an authorization, and she always has the appropriate paper with her. Can I see the paper? Don't think I believe you. Don't think I don't believe you. It's just the service. Don't worry, good sir. Here. So this is the stuff that we read during the actual demo. I hereby certify that the bearer of this statement, the chick, is indeed a reporter for the newspaper and is acting, I guess I should say local newspaper, and is acting with my full consent and approval in strict accordance with the approval of the local police department. Police chief of the city of Cross. I might just call it Cross. I feel terrible, like, making abbreviations for names of things, but you know, for the sake of keeping it concise and keeping it, like, you know what I'm referring to when I speak, that's what I'm gonna do. Acting Privy Councilor Oleg Andriv. At least I can say Oleg. I think that's her dad, right? We found out that was her dad in the demo. Okay, how do I get out? Oh, it's right, escape. Yeah. And how does this priest feel about you wandering around police morgues at night? He doesn't. He has his service, I have mine. Any other questions? You can go for now. I'll keep an eye on you. Doctor, can't you make sure no outsiders come in here again? No one will come here, I assure you. Andriva is a separate case. Whoa. That was a lot of words. Okay. Gentlemen, we need to have a serious talk with this girl, so that she doesn't meddle where she shouldn't. It's not enough that her father is a privy councilor and your boss. It's not a woman's business to stroll through morgues. Moreover, you can't take pictures here. We must make sure what she's taken here doesn't get into the wrong places, and in general, the newspapers are not to be allowed here at gunpoint. That's what I mean by this case. In St. Petersburg, they made it clear to me that the case was a secret, that the Emperor himself was displeased with the disturbances at the construction site. But the Emperor is far away in St. Petersburg, and we have to deal with His Excellency, General... Yes, sir, State Councilor. One more thing. If you have to mention His Excellency, call him General, not Privy Councilor. He likes it that way. Ask about the crime scene. Ask about the bodies. Well, we're gonna go to the crime scene, right? So let's ask about these. Who was the first to notice the bodies? The station chief noticed. He immediately raised the alarm. Unprofessional. He raised the alarm instead of having a clear look. No, don't give quick assumptions. The head of the construction site, Igor, is an honest man and a very efficient engineer. You'll get to know him and see for yourself. Yes, that's depressing. Well, sir, I've seen everything I want to see. Thank you. Let's go get some fresh air. Who was the big spook? That was so... That got me so mad. Good health, Ilya. A letter for you. Me? Why are you bringing it? Not by mail. I had a messenger deliver it for me. Okay. So every major decision, I guess, gets logged in the diary. I think eventually there's a way for you to pull up, like, the chat log so you can go back and see what you missed. Unless I'm thinking of... I might be thinking of, the other one I played that was in that speakeasy where you could do that. I've played a few different, games like this recently, so I could be wrong. Let's go, Boris. Let's read what they've written to us as we go. Okay. See if my volume's loud enough. She was a big spook. She got me. My mustache. It's so nice. I got such a nice mustache. To the state councilor. Dear Sir Ilya, as the chief of police of I was informed that you are investigating a number of sad events that have happened during the construction of the railway. I have already notified your superiors that you must keep me informed of what is happening in St. Petersburg. Oh, St. Petersburg is demanding the participation of the press, as rumors about the incident have already leaked on the newspapers. On our part, the press will be represented by Andreeva, who will accompany you during your investigation. The official permission of the police department is given for this. Yes. Since the paramedic ran away from the construction site, and I don't have any extra people right now, I'm sending the police doctor with you. So Ivan's coming with us. Yeah. So we read that during the demo too. It was already in our inventory. Oh, I can't. Oh, it won't let me go out. Oh no. Please don't tell me it's a bug. Oh. Okay, it wants me to read this other one. So this is about the daughter and like her father writing for her. And he's like, please, as your father, if you can talk her out of it, I'll be in your debt. But something tells me that hope is in vain. Therefore, I implore you to protect her. If anything happens to her, you know, it's not for me to teach you. Burn this note after reading it. You don't want anyone to know about my weakness. Sorry, my neighbors. I don't know exactly what that's talking about. Okay. So you had to press the little I to get rid of it. According to this letter from him, we're obligated to cooperate with her. Besides, it looks like she intends to come with us. It's a nightmare! Is there anything we can do to stop it? I'll try. Let's do it. Tell everyone we're going tomorrow, but in the evening, let's say 6 o'clock. I can do that. Only this. You may think of me that I'm silly, of course, but you'd better talk to Andreeva in my presence. Okay. I only talked to her in front of you, but why? First of all, it's the best way to behave with a girl. You know that. Don't take it hard to listen to me without okay, so just listen to me without interrupting me. She says she's a natural witch, Ilya. She gets it from her mother, a gypsy. She's a witch, a sorceress. Okay. What a joke you're making, Boris. I can't get used to it. Now that I'm saying Boris, I keep thinking of, is it a goose? From, oh my god, what was the name of that? That animated children's movie. Balto! From Balto! If you guys have seen Balto, I keep thinking of Boris from Balto every time I say it. That was a great vibes. I loved Jenna, the female dog. She was so cute. I'm not kidding, when her mother died, it was like Vasilisa was replaced. She cast a spell on her father too. When he sees her, he loses all will, does anything for her. It's as if he changes instantly. He let her go to St. Petersburg to study at those god-awful courses. He let her get a job at the newspaper. Better take a belt and beat her up properly. Excuse me, sir. That is not acceptable. But he can't, as they say, and I believe these rumors. No. No. She's just an independent chick. She might believe in some stuff, I don't know, but she's an independent chick. That's all it is. He is the reason that witch trials worked. It's him. He's the reason why. That's terrible. Okay. And then he also says that the father loses all will, but we saw that the father doesn't lose all his will. Because he still wrote us the letter and kind of told us how he felt, you know, and if there was anything we could do to protect her or stop her, then he would understand, or he would appreciate it even. So, you know, she's not totally controlling him. Like, coming with you. I hope you've been warned. Yes, there was an official letter from your father. Show me. Sorry, but this is an official message. Is it secret? Is it labeled as such? Or is there an instruction? No? Then show it to me. I have the right. So she has me keep it. Why am I trying to tell her not to go? And then I just caved that quickly. Yeah, you can come. Special train leaves tomorrow at 18:00. Why not say 18 o'clock? 18:00. That's how I'm gonna say the time now. It is 12:00. 12:01 right now. From the third alternate track. I had to think because I was like, it was using military time, and I was like, I don't want to use military time. That always confuses me. Alright then, in the meantime, would you mind taking my luggage? Have it taken to the station locker. We'll pick it up before we leave. Send me a receipt. What about tea? Shall I order it? I'll be fine. See you tomorrow. The train. Ooh. That's right, gotta put it over here. In the morning at 9:15. That's better. Savin and Boris were already approaching the train. 3 porters were dragging the bulky luggage with difficulty. This way, there's plenty of room for comfort. 5 compartments, take your pick. We can dine in the recreation zone. I don't know why I couldn't say that. I've ordered a 10-day supply for 3 people. Isn't that a bit much? Not at all. We don't know how long we're gonna be there. And there's the return trip. Who else is coming with us? There's no one else here in first class but us and the doctor, except for the conductor. And in the second car, construction site stuff. What about Andreva's luggage? It's okay. It'll be in the locker for a while and then she'll pick it up. I left her a note at the hotel. Oh, that's gonna be a scandal. Not gonna happen. Her father personally asked me to make sure she didn't go. You can blame this on me. Oh, that's right. That's why I tried. Because the father asked me. Makes sense. I mean, I feel like you kind of have a... I can understand the need to attempt to stop her. The honor is mine, gentlemen. I'm a little early, but it's for the best. Good morning. What's wrong? Didn't sleep? That's not the point. I've got a lot of luggage. I was afraid I'd be late. A lot of... Yeah, various doctor supplies, instruments, medications, books, reference books. Some sort of jars, vitals. I may be a police doctor, but I've still got a knack for medicine. What are the vitals for? Well, you never know. Oh, vials. I'm saying vitals. What are your vitals? The vials. What are they for? Because it could be any kind of... anything. Well, you never know. I might need to get some samples or something. Fair. She's so cute and pretty. Her little hat. Watch out. Mother of God. He does not like her. I'm ready for the guy from the demo that was like, damn woman. Oh my god, that guy was so sexist. Put it in here, my dear. Here's a tip for your labors. So she carried this stuff. He tried to trick me. Gave me the wrong time, put my luggage in storage. What am I, a fool to do this to me? To make amends and to talk in a quiet atmosphere, I invite you to the dining car. I agree to follow you, but I don't think you can appease me so easily. Come with me. Good morning to you, mademoiselle. I can't promise you the same. Your father asked us to dissuade you or detain you, and since he's my superior, I could not oppose his decision. Her father is his superior in this area specifically. I could not oppose his decision. Boris, who is present here, even more so. He too, a man of servitude. That's the way our service is. Greetings, mademoiselle. I hope it's possible to dissuade you before the next station and send you back. Don't get your hopes up. This train goes non-stop all the way to the construction site. You're a detective from the capital, and you don't know it. How do you know all this? The man at the train station. Good. I'm used to trusting no one and checking everything. My father taught me that. Yesterday, I'd figured it all out and timed it out so that I'd be on time for the departure. So she's used to people trying to tell her what to do. So we're not going anywhere from each other, gentlemen. So let's make a deal. First, you will not lie to me or get in my way. Second, I can always tell when people are lying to me. That's why I became a journalist. Thirdly, it's going to cost you. Don't tell me that my father is your superior. To dear Artemy Boris, yes. To Ivan, too. But not to you. Your superior in St. Petersburg. Your superior is in St. Petersburg, where you send regular reports. Ah, so she's saying not to me. My superior isn't here. Their superior is, but mine isn't. Okay. I thought you'd not take me for a fool. So are you going to cooperate with me? I'm usually the one saying the exact same words. You're a bold girl. Bold. Let me take the absence of your refusal as a consent to further fruitful cooperation. As you wish, mademoiselle. And as a sign of truce, I suggest we all have a snack. I've already had breakfast. Boris and I didn't have time, so I suggest we satisfy our hunger with whatever God sent us. He must have been scared, or maybe he thought I was the second conductor. He was confused by that uniform. I don't know what I'm doing here. It looks great on you. Everything looks good on me. Oh yeah! Go, Chico. It's okay. We're people that can handle Without a conductor. I'll provide you with tea now. I know where and what they have, and I have a railroad key with me. In the meantime, the train had left the city, and the vast winter Siberian landscapes were visible outside the window. On the background of the snow-white fields and frozen rivers, small villages and settlements, glittering with lights, occasionally appeared like jewels. Wow. Vasilisa? Isn't that her name? This is where he picked up at the demo. Boris, after a meaningless conversation, suddenly became gloomy and taciturn and went to his compartment. Dr. Ivan, the other guy, said that he had to prepare himself, but he did not specify what exactly he had to do. Sabin and Adriva were left alone. Ilya, tell me about yourself. I should know who I'm working with. After you. Why me? I asked you first. It's customary to let the lady go first, and besides, I'm a man, older in age and rank. Unconvincing, but have it your way. You know who my parents were when they got married? Yes, I definitely do. Then let's leave the preamble. After the wedding, my mother tried her best to get used to the local society. But the society did not accept her. She never became one of them there. Of course, she visited with her father at receptions, at the theater where she had previously served. Then I was born. Let's just keep listening. Later, when I was 13 years old, my mom died. She suddenly fell ill, and just before she died, she reached out to me and grabbed my hand. It was like an electric shock. I almost fainted, and my mom died at that moment. From this moment on, I felt that I could see more than other people. Ooh, that's so cool. Poppy. He almost went crazy with grief. He loved my mom, his wife, very much. He was always terribly afraid that something bad might happen to me. From that day on, I began to see my father drifting away from me. He was endlessly busy with his work, trying to forget about it, and he became more and more concerned about my well-being. Even though we remained close, I felt that a wall was growing between us. I tried to be a good daughter. I studied with flying colors and excelled in gymnasium. I wanted my father to be proud of me. However, even when I did well, his anxiety did not decrease, but on the contrary, increased. He was still as wary as ever. The thing is, as I grew older, I became more and more like my mother. I don't want to interrupt her. You're very beautiful. He's understandable. Or maybe it should be it's understandable. Thank you. It was understood that after gymnasium, I would marry anyone my father chose. There were plenty of possible suitors, but I didn't like that kind of future at all. Maybe later, but not right away. But bro, you got some streaks in your hair. Just kidding. You could be any age and be getting gray. Maybe later, but not right away. Okay, I wanted to study, but my father thought that gymnasium was more than enough for me. In the end, I wrote to his brother, my uncle, in St. Petersburg, and received an invitation to the courses. For non-resident maidens, required only permission to study from a parent and a certificate of income and place of residence. Ah, okay. Uncle provided me with a room in his house. One trouble. Poppy was not going to sign such a signature. I had to resort to extreme measures, and they worked. My father gave permission and even agreed to pay my tuition. So maybe she worked with her uncle? Like, she got her uncle to let her have a place, so she solved the issue that she had no residence? No proper residence? Ask about her uncle. And your uncle. My uncle Nikolai, I love that name. Andreev was a well-known scholar. So it's her dad's, obviously it's her dad's brother. It might have said that already, but was a well-known scholar, a professor, who taught at the university. All his life he was engaged in the history of Byzantium, and at our word history department of the course he lectured on the history of ancient philosophy. I wonder if that's supposed to be world history. I entered the physical and mathematical department. I was more interested in natural sciences. We had practical lessons and subjects. There were richly furnished rooms, well-equipped laboratories, a wonderful library, but I lacked this knowledge. My appearance, of course, raised questions from the other students. I told everyone that my mother came from Greece. Then I conspired with my uncle, and he forged a fake student card in the name of some non-existent Sergei something, and I began to change into a student uniform and attend other disciplines that interested me. That's how I got into the university circle of truth seekers. Oh, so cool. Throughout my life, I have realized that the strength received from my mother and the scientific knowledge gained from people give an invaluable opportunity to achieve a lot in this life and get wonderful results. But not in Russia. There's nothing for a woman of my type to do here. The only thing to do here was to leave, but that required money and the status of a married lady. So what's the point? Very simple. I don't want to get married. The fictitious marriage that some of my course friends resorted to did not appeal to me either. So legally, under my real name, I took a job as a journalist assistant at the St. Petersburg newspaper. The St. Petersburg Vedomosti. This allowed her to write reports herself, though under a male pseudonym. Maybe this means this allowed me to write reports myself. Not sure. I learned to take pictures, and my uncle gave me a camera, and then getting a job at the newspaper wasn't too difficult, and my dad helped me. Now I'm 25 years old. And by the standards of our city, I'm already an old maid, but you know, I'm quite self-sufficient. So she's older now. You couldn't be more than 18. Maybe not. Or he's just flattering her. Why are you telling me all this? We're practically strangers. Oh, please, I'm supposed to make you feel comfortable. Surprised? You can't do anything to hurt me now. Why's that? Because I'm pleading with you to join you. I'm good at something, and I've read your soul during our conversation. She read your soul! Oh my god, staring straight into your soul. Besides, I'll be very useful to you in your investigation. Without me, you simply won't be able to do anything. Why? How's that? What can you do? Nothing objectionable. Look at me. Look at my eyes. Seven obediently gazed into her large, dark blue eyes, and felt that he could not take his eyes off of them. Those eyes took all his attention, attracted him more and more, filling his whole mind. He, a Petersburg detective, a state counselor, and official for special assignments, suddenly realized that nothing was more important to him than those eyes. He was drowning in them, as in an ocean, and this blue ocean completely swallowed up his mind. Wow. So she really does have some kind of power. Okay, we should be careful. Are you here? Are you asleep? No, I was just thinking, is there anything you can show me? Anything you know how to do? Yes, convince me. She does the tarot cards. I think I'm gonna skip the tarot reading as well. Again, like I did in the demo. So then she says, oh yeah, you might be hiding stuff. And he's like, I have nothing to hide. And then he's like, don't do the tarot cards. She'll bewitch you. I think, and I took the icon, yeah. So we'll just do this kind of the same. Oh, so this was just blocked in the demo because it wasn't finished yet, probably. I'm gonna refuse. And then she says, "You're like an indecisive maiden." Yeah. Okay, so these are the big choices that we made. To Siberia, Your Honor. We go to Siberia. And then we went to the Gentleman's Club. We met the doctor there. We went to the morgue. We saw crazy stuff. Something tried to attack us. It was a very true fear moment. You know, from the hog. The hog adventure. It got me. It got me pretty bad. I'm excited for the new one. I can't wait till it comes out. The next morning, the train was approaching the final point of its journey. Outside the window, it was whitely white, with freshly fallen snow. Like that. It should be like... There should be another adjective or adverb here. We'll be there soon. And then he talks about the little things on the pole that tell you distance of how far you are from the station. And then they talk about weapons. And then she's like, "I have this weapon. Why didn't anybody say anything?" And he goes, "It's good enough for shooting an inept lover in the leg at point blank range, but it won't do anything else." Okay. I'm just skipping through this a little bit because this was in the demo, so we kind of know what's up, and I can explain the important stuff. Greetings, gentlemen. So this is Igor that we were talking about in the case file. He's the head of the construction site. Strict, elegant, well-groomed, because that's very important. Despite his age, looks much older because of his outdoor work. Prone to guile, often understating things, a habit that helps him maneuver through difficult situations with construction workers. Due to his life experience and respect for his colleagues, he has earned recognition and trust among the workers. Does not have a noble background. Is this the guy that dies? Who dies? Not Nakodum. Is it this guy? No, this is the British guy. No, this is the sexist guy. Yeah, okay, I'm kind of remembering now. I'd like you to meet my companions, Father Nakodum. That's this guy. Lieutenant Leonoid. That's him. The ginger. And then Bronson is the English dude. Please, love and favor. I still don't know what that's about. Any new victims? I think that's what I said before, too. We found it yesterday, our workers. Were the workers found? Or are they the bodies of the workers? Our workers found the dead bodies of other workers. Okay. Oh, so this is pronounced Taiga. Before I didn't know how to pronounce it. It's, Taiga, I think. Yeah. Like, I kind of, like, spelled it out. You can't see it from here, but, like, T-I-E, like, a tie that you, like a, you know, you could wear. And then, Ga. That's how I'm trying to remember how to say it. We were surprised. Nothing came out of the lacerated throat. Just gruesome wounds, that's all. So there was no blood probably because the other one was dragged, right? So maybe the same thing happened with this. It's like it bled out on the way here and then there was nothing left by the time I got here, maybe? I don't know. And the Kodam's in the church giving mass. New issues. And then she already knows the investigations happened. And she has information because she talked to someone on the side and got the information while we were out. Because we told her she needed to stay here. And she didn't want to, but she listened, but she got somebody else to do the work for her. I don't want her to, like, use us for some weird stuff, you know? Oh, yeah. So he's saying that the reason the footprints were that weird oval shape is because of the snowshoes that they use here. But I don't know, it could be that. And then it was either, I think it was him, that had soldiers out around us, like just keeping her safe. But the problem is that it's storming outside. There's a snowstorm happening. So now we're like, well, is it worth it to have the... And he's like, I'll prepare some frostbite ointment. It's like they shouldn't have to stay out there in the cold. I think it gave me a choice there in the other one. Maybe they changed that because it didn't really affect anything. So we met him. Yeah, excuse me, I'm just like speeding through this bit a little bit because, you know, I've already experienced this part. The track of the beast. Yes, there's another dead man, just like the others. We didn't see it right away. It was covered with snow, just like last time at the edge of the taiga. We didn't touch anything, didn't let anyone near. You were displeased that they trampled everything with their feet, so I ordered them not to let anyone near. That we needed to meet. He's like, why would he come out here? And then we realized that there's traces and that he's been dragged. She takes a picture. Damn woman! Oh my god. Every time. Let's get the details straight and write them down before they're forgotten. As you command. I can't help it, it's so funny. You haven't heard from anyone else. Maybe someone told you something. Who could? Neither the chief nor the father. Nor all of the engineers said anything like that. Gregory is a man of his own mind. He won't say a word. He doesn't drink with us. How is he still alive? Ah, so he's saying, how is this British guy still alive? So he's hating on the British guy. Okay. And he's saying that, like, how is he still alive? Because, you know, like, it's so secluded and dark, and, like, you need conversation and, like, things like that to, like, keep you going in these really difficult winters. That's my take on the tiger. So he kind of tells us that he thinks that it's a tiger that's attacking people. And then he says a lot of people say tigers aren't around, but there used to always be tigers here. And he said maybe there's just some that are just still around. People think they were extinct, but they're not. in this area. That, you know, people thought they killed them all, but he thinks it could be the spirit of the mountain, which doesn't really make sense. But it kind of goes with this, and the priest will take shots. I forgot about that. That's so funny. Oh, I talked to him more in the other one. I wish I could go back now. Seven walked around the perimeter of the camp as the weather began to deteriorate again. A snowstorm was beginning again. Seven was... Okay, we heard it that time. About to return to the car when suddenly there was a loud roar. Okay, we have our revolver. Let's fight. We don't shoot, because it's this dude. And now he trusts us a little bit more. Because we do, you know. We weren't stupid. We're not trying to hurt anyone, you know. So this is all the clues that we've gathered. This go round. It's the question of leave or stay, but even in the demo I was like, they're just gonna end up getting stuck here somehow. They're not gonna be leaving. They just think they are. It looks worse in the light. Inspect the body. A claw found at the death site of one of the workers, presumably a bear claw. Someone could have just planted that, you know? Don't you dare express yourself in front of her. It could have a very unfortunate effect on your health, both physical and mental. He's angry because she's a woman. He's right to be persuasive. Are you having thoughts? You're saying... You're staying, but what if you were me? What would you leave? I advised her to stay at the end of the demo. I told her that she should stay. And then he's upset with that. But at least I did some stuff at the beginning to kind of like make him like me a little bit better. And then the sawdust that the main character thinks it's the sawdust, but it's actually mosquitoes. Forgot about that. So they do that to keep the mosquitoes out during the warm months. Oh no, they have these special windows to keep the bugs out. And this is basically where we were at the end of the demo. So they're stranded because the bridge collapsed, so there's no way for them to continue. Now, who knows if it was actually the bridge just collapsing randomly, or if someone made it collapse, you know? If this was a plot. Someone said it could have collapsed from the snow. But someone found this glove. And its expensive origin. And we know it's not the girl, because she wasn't there. So it's either these two, like, you know what I mean? They planned this to begin with, or it's someone else going there and blew it up. I think I listened. Oh no, I reined him in, right? His Excellency is speaking. So he kind of tells them, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to have these, everyone's going to stop construction on the railway. Because that's what all these people were doing. They were hiring, they had exiled some of these people out here to build this railway. And they need the railway. But a lot of the people that got chosen for this were like prisoners and stuff like that. That weren't necessarily super bad prisoners, but like, this was the way that they could spend their prison time, basically, right? So a lot of these workers are prisoners. And so they're like, why should we trust you? And he's like, well, I'm gonna have everybody stop work on the railway, and I'm gonna have you start building houses, building things that you need to survive, to make it through these next either couple weeks of winter or like month and a half. They don't know, you know what I mean? Because it kind of depends on the weather when it gets warm enough. And he's like, we're going to focus on that. And then once it gets warm enough again, then we can resume finishing the railway. Because there's no way for us to get anywhere, to even get food, to do anything. We can't get out of here. So we might as well try to work with what we have and survive until winter is over. And then we can finish building it, and then we'll be able to have a direct line another way. Because the way they're building, I don't think was the bridge they came on. So they'll have a direct way to get to the city and everything once they finish. Need to build more winter houses and settle in to wait till spring. He's like, we'll build stoves, we'll build houses. So, So I'm more prudent than adventurer. Well, I feel like that's me, though. That's me. So with him, I have a bit of authority. I don't have anything with a doctor, and I have a bit of authority with her. A lot of authority with Igor. And an insane amount of authority with him because I didn't shoot him. Okay. Yeah. This is so fun. I really like it so far. I hope you guys are liking it. Hidden in the night. I forgot. I always forget I have to click. Oh, she's with us this time. Did you go to the train? No, why? I already knew it was going to happen there, and I know what's happening now. See, she says these things, but for her to know before, she had someone else get the information for her. So I feel like maybe she doesn't know everything, and she's just good at convincing other people to help her know everything, if that makes sense. First, Igor made a speech and calmed the crowd. Then he outlined a plan of further action, and now he was dividing everyone into brigades and handing out valuable instructions. No one will remember anything later, and the superiors will demand a report. And here I have a report from the field. And photos. You don't want to be accused of delaying the investigation, do you? I didn't manage to photograph the ruined bridge. Oh, I do remember this from the demo. That's a pity. I hope to persuade the driver to take me there. Dude, that scared me so bad. I thought he was dead. In the darkness of the night, Ilya pondered over what was happening. In the back of his mind, Savin still felt trembling, uncertain, and mysterious about everything that was happening, as if the mountain spirits were really behind this curse. Savin clenched his fist, suppressing his fear that was trying to climb to the surface of his mind. He decided that he needed to go back to the original sources, to nature itself, to find the answers to his questions. With these thoughts in mind, he fell asleep and had a dream. Oh no, this can't be good. Okay, so this is the choices we made. It can't be something supernatural. This is historical. It's based on a history. Apparently. Savin woke up with a wild scream and involuntarily clutched his head. He did not immediately realize that it was the actual gunshots that had awakened him. Morning, his head was in place. Everything was in place. The first, still uncertain light was already shining through the hut window. But to his horror, Savin noticed that his wet fur boots with remnants of melting snow were lying nearby. Had he been walking in the snow in his sleep? What? Who was shooting where? There, hurry. Something in the tunnel. Look, blood. Oh god, I don't remember who this is again. Boris, it is Boris, okay. Was the first to notice the red stains on the tree trunk. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so we can see it a little bit better like that. Got some right here. We got a cross on the ground. A bloody cross with a broken chain. Yeah, let's take it. A copper cross with silver inlays. Father Nicodem's cross. Oh, and I didn't talk to him because I was dumb. It belonged to Father Nicodem, who had disappeared on that ill-fated night. Savin knelt down near the bloody spot. So Father Nicodem disappeared? He didn't disappear before. Sleeve is made of yellow metal, with smooth walls and unusual stamp. It's his. Father's missing. Father Nicodem is missing. Another one. He's freaking out. Attention, Father is missing. Tell those who haven't heard. Form a chain and comb the taiga. Everyone on the search. Don't go further away from each other than a couple of steps. Just avoid the trees and keep a close eye on everything. Don't lose sight of each other. And we should check the tunnel just in case. Someone took the bodies. Oh my god, this is insane. As it turned out, during the day, no one came to that car at all. They did not put guards there. They did not consider it necessary. Oh my god. Next to the car, there were really unexplainable tracks going to the taiga. The tracks could not be seen. The excited crowd trampled them. A real panic began among the superstitious workers. In the center of the turmoil was suddenly Boris, who climbed into the car and, like a turbine of the people, began to shout that everyone here would soon die for their sins, that the dead had risen and the end of the world was at hand. See, I feel like Boris definitely has other motives. Boris, oh my god, Boris. How could he? I'm gonna have to put little PNGs of Boris from Balto. I wonder if that's even like free use at this point. It probably is. That's an old freaking animated movie. I mean, it's not like Snow White, original Snow White old, but like, it's pretty old. So he's telling people that they were soon gonna die from their sins. So he's being like the, putting fear into the crowd. They have risen. This is a sign of the second coming. Our Lord has told us to prepare for these hardships. And then at the end, he says, pray and repent. This is Father Nikodim's bloody cross. He never parted with it. However, brothers and sisters, do not forget that the resurrection is also the day of judgment. So then he's bringing up, like, Judgment Day. Was that in the game? Or is that outside? And then he says, everyone repent for your sins. Like, he's just using, he's using religion to put fear into the people and control them through that way. Are you utterly out of your mind? Boris, come to your senses. Stop your hysterics. God has nothing to do with it. Oh, you, how could you? What? Do you know where Father Nikodim is? Silence. You, are you starting a riot? I don't care if you're a policeman from the city. Now we're in an emergency situation. I have a special order to shoot rioters, provocateurs, and saboteurs on the spot. You are a provocateur and a rebel. Take him into custody. Okay, good. And we have, like, thank God he was there. Oh, this is the doctor. His glasses made his eyes look really weird. Sorry about that. So Boris has been taken into custody and began to search for traces of the priest. After a while, it became quite clear to everyone that the search was in vain. The priest had disappeared without leaving a trace. Only a bloodstain and a cross. Everyone tried not to think about the disappeared corpses for the time being. It was so ridiculous, wild, and unreal that it tore the consciousness and did not fit in their heads. Moreover, the night snowfall had hidden the tracks, and it was impossible to establish the truth. Savin was returning home, immersed in thought. How are your patients? One died this morning, but he was very bad. Bilateral pneumonia. I know what that is. I think that's, like, liquid and other, like, bodily stuff getting into the lungs. The tissue around the air sacs of your lungs get irritated and may fill with pus and other fluids. Yeah. And if it's really bad, it can kill you. As soon as I saw him, I knew he was dead. He had... What is that? I have no idea what that is. So he has, a fever that is caused by, like, a rat bite. Transmitted from rodents to humans through rodent urine or secretions. It can be transmitted to other rodents and monkeys and us. Wow, it's never been fully identified apparently. Anyway. So, that's kind of like the plague. Alright. The Black Death. Alright. And by this morning, that was it. He's dead. I've told the chief, the others don't know yet, but the other patients, thank God, are recovering steadily. I even wanted to let one of them out, but then I changed my mind. So in the city, I was called cadaver doctor in the police. But I haven't forgotten my craft. I know how to give treatment somehow. Because he was looking at corpses, you know, in the police. Isn't there any way to cure Boris? I think he's mentally ill. You're right. Insania religiosia? Oh my god. What? Religious insanity? Paranoia. Or religious-based insanity, to be precise. I don't know if he really does. I mean, he might. He's been talking about religion this whole time, but he also might just be using that to control people, you know? Okay, I'm going to my room. It's getting late. It would be better to always be close by and know what our dear Boris is doing. Alright. I haven't checked out the unfinished tunnel yet. I don't like it. I don't like it very much. It's especially disturbing that no one's talking about it. They don't talk about it on purpose. I've asked, but everyone's been sidetracking the conversation. The main object of the construction site. And I still know almost nothing about it. Tomorrow I'll organize interrogations. I'll invite them one by one. Maybe they'll say something important. Okay. Wow, I can't believe he's freaking gone, dude. We should have talked to him. I messed up. But I did it in the demo. So maybe it'll help me in the future, since I actually know that, but it could also just hurt me because I didn't actually do it in this, so it might not give me an option that I would have had before, maybe? I don't know. New witnesses. Oh. Okay. Oh! Look at the little statuette. So now, who do you want me to bring in for questioning first? Engineer Bronson. Let's do the engineer, because we just talked to the doctor. May I could help you? Greetings, Mr. Bronson. I must warn you at once that our conversation will not leave this room. Even if you knew I was the perpetrator. Are you really familiar with him? No, but assuming. In such a case, the law will come into effect. It is impossible to conceal a crime. And in all other cases, I pledge to maintain confidentiality. So what do you think about what's going on? Your personal opinions. My personal opinion is this. If there wasn't such a... What's the Russian word for it? I can't say that. Sloppiness. Yes. Then deadlines wouldn't have been broken and people wouldn't have gotten hurt. That's like a weird way to say it. So he's saying just sloppiness is why this is happening? I'm a mining engineer, and before digging the tunnel, I propose to calculate everything, then provide housing for the workers and the engineering staff, and then start tunneling. They said that's not enough funding. What kind of nonsense is that? Oops, sorry. But they found money for a gilded onion for the temple. And there was money for soldiers. They guard the convicts. I don't know why I said conflicts. And if only freelancers were used, we'd spend less money and we wouldn't need so many people. And they work better. I'm not even talking about escapes and desertions. I can also tell you that during the tunneling, close to the tunnel walls, a cave was discovered. If we're there, I can show you. That's sloppy too. Who makes calculations like that? I don't know if he's saying like onion, like, to me that would be in quotes if it was like if he was being like saying it like a joke or something. Wahoo! So he's saying there's not enough funding. They're telling him there's not enough funding for anything, yet they can pay for all these other things. But they can't actually give anybody housing or like take care of anybody. Were the calculations irregularities? There were. Did I read it wrong? Were there irregularities in the calculations is what I think he's saying. And he's saying there were, but that's not the point. Did someone stand in your way? No one stopped me, but they didn't help me either. Do you know what a seismic survey is? Well, how could I? I suggested first listening to this mountain for voids and cracks. It's elementary. No one objected. But they didn't send me the tools I needed. And then I'd pay more attention to the legends of the locals. There's a reason they say we disturbed the mountain spirit. Well, we'll save the legends for later. Do you have evidence? Anything concrete that you can present in court? No, I don't. If you do, please, Mr. Bronson, let me know immediately. I will. May I go now? Of course. Don't listen to that Englishman. Did you hear our conversation, Igor? No. But I know what he was talking about. He always says it. That we needed this, we needed that. We didn't do it. We didn't measure it. We didn't organize it well. If he had been in charge of the construction, we'd be 10 verstas. 10 kilos, almost 11. Away from this area now, not here. I wouldn't mind. So would I. Do you know how this construction project got started? I know the milestones. Not all of them are incorrect ones, I'm afraid. Let me tell you something. Ilya, different people will be coming to see you now, and they'll start saying all sorts of things. Be careful with them. If there's anything, I'll always help you. I wanted to bring a Cossack 100 here first. If not 100, at least 50. But no. They've sent soldiers. And what good are they? They look like nothing. The superiors know best, they said so bluntly. Alright, any more questions for me? Wait, what? So he's trying to get our support. I don't know what this means. He said he wanted to bring 100 of this. I don't know if that's like a certain type of people or if that's like something else. If not 100, at least 50. But he said instead they sent soldiers. That definitely makes me think, though, that it's like a political thing. Greetings. Do you have something to make my life not so miserable? A bit. It's gallows humor, you know. But seriously, what do you think? I learned a lot of new and interesting things here. It turns out that not all of the information was passed on to the superiors and became known to the construction management. What are you talking about? About this. And it started back in the fall. The first rare cases began. No one thought to notify. But it's a bit like English would say rabies. Oh my god. And that guy that got bit by the mouse, too. But wait, dude. That could totally explain why somebody would go nuts and start attacking people. But don't you usually end up, like, dying from it? It's 100% fatal. Wow. I said it looks like it, but no, it's not rabies. It's something else entirely. Of course, it's none of my business, but I'd have the tunnel examined. The tunnel. More specifically, the cave that was filled with stone. Well, Bronson just told us there was a cave, so I don't know why I'm acting like there's no cave. But I guess I can't. I'm trying to be confidential, I guess. I think it's a clue. Good luck with the facts. So I'm sitting for a while in thought, and then I realized that all the threads lead to the tunnel, but something strong. Some strong anxiety was creeping into his heart, a sense of something terrible. Today we're going to look at the tunnel, and everything in it. This is an investigative action, so we'll have to record the inspection and affix our signatures. I'd like to have everything in advance. Any objections? Additions? Presumably someone would like to speak. I think we should take 4 workers with us. Might come in handy. Be sure to have plenty of fully fueled flashlights. Take the long burning torches. I'll also bring my... I don't know what that means, if nobody minds. Is that him? Is that Bronson? No, right? Oh, that's the doctor. Oh, his thing to help him collect if there's any, like, samples he can collect. Okay. Why would we be against it? You think we might need it? Well, that's for you to decide. Anything else? A couple of armed soldiers. I don't know what's out there. It's up to you. But that would be too many of us. But we won't get stuck. Oh god, this might be like life or death for her though. Should we bring her with us? I guess we should. I don't want to tell her no. Says there's nothing. She took a picture. Damn you! The damn woman! You should be warned, we could have gone blind. No one's gone blind yet, and if you warn people, you'll tense. You'll get tense faces and unnatural poses. Poses. Too much smoke. There's not enough air in here already. The most interesting thing we passed a little earlier. What's in there other than the stone walls? What do you guys think is in the cave? Right here, I marked this spot. Beyond the masonry, our tunnel suddenly crossed the cave. It was a surprise to everyone. The mountain was supposed to be monolithic, and no serious problems would be found. Over there, the cave continues. We consulted it, and it was decided to brick up the openings and tunnel further into the cave. Igor, explain. You're taking forever. That's what happened. But this decision had no effect on the engineering structures or the overall progress of the work. The cave is dry. And what does it matter now? Alright, let's go back. We've seen everything here. Oh, so we didn't go in the cave? Wasn't that the whole point? Someone stole my magnesium mixture. Greetings to you too. I'm not in the mood for pleasantries right now. I've been robbed. Who? How should I know? You're an investigator. Not exactly an investigator. Boris is our investigator, at least he used to be, but now it's clear who he is and what's wrong with him. Don't confuse me. Someone's trying to stop me from taking pictures, and it's no longer an evil force. They broke into my compartment and stole one of my... Oh, the one with the flash mix. Why did they steal all your photographic materials then? Wait, what? Why didn't they steal all your photographic materials then? All they did was steal the film so that she can't take more. The reason they didn't steal them is because I gave them to the station manager for safekeeping. He's the only sane person here, and he has a fireproof closet. Honestly, I thought you'd be investigating the kidnapping, not interrogating me. Calm down and stop being rude. I haven't even started yet. Honestly, we have to try to help, right? I'll go check out your compartment right away. I've been listening to stories of strange and frightening events that have been haunting the work as of late. Stories from eyewitnesses themselves and eyewitnesses they know. I'm afraid it's only just beginning. Be careful, I implore you. What do I need to be careful about? If only I knew. I'll talk to the station manager about it just in case. Have a good night. As long as it's not too late, there's time to listen to someone else. I saw a stone setter here, looking at me so attentively as if he wanted to say something, but didn't dare. On the other hand, what if it was just me? I'm the coal heaver. I'm the stone setter here. So my job is to build a stove, fire it up, stoke it if necessary, and keep an eye on it. Make sure that the vent isn't closed before it's time and that there's plenty of wood nearby. So what's the matter? A while back I saw a furnace from a local German engineer. From Gregory? He's not German. Although you probably call all foreigners that, don't you? him. He usually stays out of my business, especially if there's something wrong with the stove. So he didn't even let me a while back. Oh well, it's not a big deal for me. I left. I saw sparks coming out of his stovepipe and the cinders are flying. So what's wrong? He burned a ton of paper right after you arrived. I'll ask you to keep quiet about our conversation. I'll take note of it too. No one will find out from me, but you keep quiet too, and not a word to Bronson at all. Don't we understand? So he's saying that Gregory burned paper. So he was saying that deadlines would be met if people weren't so sloppy. I think the sloppiness might be intentional, though, at this point. He burned a lot of paper. Big baboom. Okay, let's see. So who's Gregory? So that's Bronson. Okay, so the English guy. In the morning, a native resident came to the camp from the taiga. He started to say something quickly, gesticulating vigorously. The builders did not understand a word. Is there an interpreter here? I'm not an interpreter, Your Honor, but I know a little bit of the local language. Make way, people. What did you say? No one can hear. You're reasonable people. Why are you listening to some lunatic? Oh! Like they were saying, like, to beat him. Like, the man's not doing anything. He said, what did he say? He said, he, a native resident. I'm like... It's like the freaking Tarzan. Hi, Tarzan, Eugene. I can see that. What's he saying? It's a warning, Your Honor. Danger to all, for us builders and for the locals. According to him, continued construction will lead to terrible trouble. We'll all die. The disturbed spirit in the mountain will not forgive people for damaging its home and will punish everyone severely. He demands that the work be stopped or else he will be punished with death. No, let him go. It said personally take out the native. I'm not killing anybody. It's interesting that you have, like, all of these different sources telling you different things, but they all lead to something to do with... God, neighbors are so loud. Something to do with, the construction and the mountain. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I'm so curious because I think it would be hard for someone to make someone from a native population do something for them like that. Like, there has to be their own reason why they also believe that. I know there's a legend, but you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. I'm a working traveler. Unless they're the ones behind it all, but I have a hard time believing that. He's very angry. Oh, Boris is very angry. Everyone is listening to him, afraid there will be trouble. He's acting crazy again, Boris. Boris is gonna get shot. You know, like, putting himself literally on a soapbox. My brothers, here I am, standing before you. My heart is filled with pain and suffering. Oh god, here we go. Let the righteous triumph over evil. Let true faith stop the coming calamity. Okay. What to do, you shall ask? The answer is simple. Destroy witchcraft and shamanism. Yes, it is the witchcraft of witches and the shamanism of pagans that rules these places. Oh my goodness. Yesterday you saw one such servant of evil. He himself dared come to us with threats. Oh my god. It's about time Father disappeared. He would have cleaned up this mess with that loud mouth. Tell me, can something be done about this, provocateur? You see how they're listening to him. I'm afraid it's too late. Not everyone agrees with him. The right thing to do would be to shoot him immediately, but that would lead to builders' revolt and make me to servitude. You're so cruel. I'm afraid this is just the beginning. They love to, like, shoot the gun to make everybody pay attention, like. I, your superior, appointed here by the Emperor's will. I order you to disperse immediately. Disperse. I have authorization to use weapons in case of a riot. Boris, please come to me. How can you? How can you not see? How can you? I understand you're perfectly well. We are too concerned about Father Nikodim's disappearance. We too are concerned about his disappearance, but your methods are crossing the line. I'm begging you very much, temper your anger with mercy. Tell the workers to disperse before they hurt themselves. No one wants violence. I didn't think that after what happened you would want to talk to me. I'll remember this humanity in you. Only the time for talking is over. The devils are among us. Oh god, here we go. Well, if you don't want to talk to me, Igor, please take Boris away. Find out in a calm atmosphere what he and his men need. Yes. I'm telling you, you are in the power of the devil. You forget yourself, sir. She's a witch. You're a delusional, honored one. You are a servant of Satan. I'll shoot you and I'll get nothing for it. How can he? Maybe tie him up again? Everything is bad. Demands weapons. And is going to first look for Father Nikodim in the woods and then follow to the neighboring plot. It says here we are all... Wait. And then follow to the neighboring plot. Say here are all the antichrists. We're not going to drink. There might be a riot. He also demands to arrest you. The chick. Is he out of his mind? Igor and Sissy disperse the crowd. Should we allow people to be able to defend themselves? I feel like they should be able to. So prudent. I still have some authority with him. They're kind of high with her. We did lose one with him because we did something that he didn't like, but I mean, his was so high. It was okay. Allow weapons to be issued. I don't know what it means. Because this is like, oh, that's authority, so what's the other way? Because everybody's under authority. I guess the other way would mean that they don't listen to me, so I'm doing good then, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, we should allow weapons to be issued. Give them everything they ask for, including weapons. They're going into the taiga, and they won't survive without it. Just do everything according to the law, and have them sign documents stating that they wish to move to a neighboring construction site. I will do it by law, and each of them will sign the appropriate paper in their name. Who has good handwriting? I've got it. Okay. Some of them are illiterate. Put an X. Said it's been decided. Here's something else I'd like to know. How did you get all that stamp paper? Yeah, where did it come from? So, my authority went down with who? Did it go up with her? Or was that the same? Maybe down with him. Down with him, because he was at the second one. Because he would want to just be able to keep controlling people. But I think that we should let them have their own weapons. I mean, this is kind of like a dire situation. You know, and if anything gets worse, people should be able to defend themselves. Now, that could lead to really bad things. You know, people making bad decisions, but I feel like more people could die if they don't have the option, potentially. Oh no, the blizzard. Alright, let's save. Oh, sorry. Good morning, Ilya. I want to report the Boris group left yesterday. So far, there's no news from them. And this blizzard also rose, as if they would not have to pray for them. We could follow after him. We can't wait. We're going to follow the tracks right now before we get out of here. If they freeze on the way, none of us will be praised by the authorities. It's somehow not human to throw people at the mercy of the elements. Yeah. No, this time I think she should stay here. It's going to be very dangerous out there. The games are over. There's real danger. Staying here, period. But no buts. I'm done. Wish us luck. Yes, she needs to stay there. We need to have someone that we can trust. I guess, kind of trust. That will stay, and then we can go. Who's got a compass? We've also got plot armor, probably. At least for most of this. Oh, look at the wolves. It's the wolves. Prepare to repel the attack. Get everything you know about wild animals. I'm afraid they behave very differently here. It's not only the humans that go insane here, but the beasts. Let's try to find shelter. Some bad news. This isn't an Aboriginal camp. It's a camp of escaped convicts and deserters. I've recognized some of the missing men. They're all acting suspiciously, not like normal people. I suggest we cautiously walk closer, hide behind the spruce trees and observe. Oh. What is happening? The group moved closer and took cover behind dense spruce trees. They watched the parking lot. No shelters or anything resembling shelters could be seen, but soon it became clear that all the inhabitants of the camp did not talk to each other, did not seem to feel the cold, and ate whatever they could, including some of their own wounded. Sometimes they just silently killed someone and started eating. Is this about zombies? Maybe I'm thinking of something else that was historical. Maybe it was that other game, and this one's not at all. That's super hype. But soon it became clear, that they're like zombies, I guess. These aren't people anymore. They're more like gulls and cannibals. Or a pushkin, they must have stole the bodies from the car just to eat them. Look, Your Honor, it's our... blah blah. We thought he deserted. And the wolves had eaten him long ago, but that's how it is. I know that one too. Oh goodness. Yeah. Oh! What is that? Savin's companions were lost in the thick snowfall. Only now he noticed he was standing alone, and none of his companions were around. He was afraid to shout. Oh god, this is so creepy. What is it? Oh, that's gotta be somebody dressed up, right? Somebody trying to be cool. In order not to freeze, he decided to walk as long as he could move. Very soon, he lost not only his direction, but also any idea of time and space. He no longer cared where he was going. We're gonna go straight into that dude. That was so creepy. Oh goodness. Somehow creepier than this to me. Who is it? Look, I think I can see something up ahead. Yeah! What do you think it is? Healing. I don't know if it's gonna be real healing or not. Oh. What's happening? What's that? Savin woke up feeling the pressure of the ground in some shack. Before he could be frightened, he saw the face of Father beside him. Was that him? Are you awake? Father Nakodum, are you alive? Nakodum, as you see, God took care of you. Oh, he's saying Nakodum, as you see. God took care of you. Lie down, lie down. It's too early for you to get up. But how? Okay. There's no mystery here, I'll tell you. That night in the forest, when I left the camp in a snowstorm, I met a local shamaness. Initially, we met long ago in the summer. I was trying to bring all the locals to Christ. To bring them to the Word of God. It didn't work out. Guess not. God didn't give me the gift of persuasion, but I got to know a representative of the local clergy, so to speak. A shamaness named Ivina, and the locals are interesting people. After all, they know everything about their taiga. And they know how to do everything, and it would not be a sin for us Orthodox Christians to learn a lot from them. Our meetings began, but of course, I kept it all secret. I didn't know what the people would think. Okay. And how did you speak? What language? She speaks our language well. Oh, did I say how did she speak? No, I said how do you speak? Sometimes they get the, like, the, tense. Not the tense, but like, what is it called? God, I'm an English major. I should know what it's called. The first person, second person, third person. Sometimes they mix that up, which is understandable. It can be confusing. She speaks our language well, so that night I went to see her. Not for idle conversation, God forbid, but to talk about the murders. She knows something about it, so, she's pretty. You're awake now, mountain spirit. Can get you to. Spirit of the mountain. Something I vaguely remember. This legend was once told to me by Engineer Bronson. A bad man with a black soul. Watch out for him. We should write that down. Bronson sus. I think that they all have something. Like, we should listen to all sides of it. Okay. His soul is black as coal. He goes around asking questions about everything, writing in a notebook. He serves evil people. Don't trust him. What about the spirit of the mountain? Have you heard the tale of Degisa, the master of the mountain? Translating to Russian, it's the devil's mountain. In the old days, the spirit of the mountain, acknowledged as the master of the mountain, was evil. He would come out from time to time and harm people, kill hunters, slaughter animals. In the old days, people outsmarted the spirit of the mountain and drove it inside the mountain and sealed it so that so it could never come out again. And you started digging up the mountain and made a hole, so the master of the mountain got out. Now he penetrates man and beast and possesses them, so they act as one. The living fire must be rekindled. Call the spirits of the ancestors. Ask them together to drive away the master of the mountain. Then you must convince your spirit not to leave your body. I gotta keep my spirit in my body. You guys gotta keep y'all's spirits in y'all's body. What is happening? I'm pretty sure you can't. That's not in your control. That's how I saved Nakotum and I saved you. With the help of the living fire, I can resist the mountain spirit for a short time. I went to Avina's that night, but someone fired a shot and the bullet grazed me. I didn't know who it was, but a revolver glinted in the darkness, so I ran in terror. It was probably us. Remember, our boots were wet, and we have a revolver, right? Isn't that what we have? Yeah. It was probably us. Surrounded by animals in the taiga. It would have been the end of me. Lavina appeared and somehow scared the beast away. And I, a sinner, was already exhausted from fatigue, from cold, and from the fact that I was wounded by someone's stray bullet. Who fired? Where from? I didn't understand. It was already dark. Lavina dragged me to the dugout on a sled, together with my relatives. She stopped the blood. I don't know what that means. But she was able to help him, is the main point. Why didn't they tell us anything? The construction camp. We've been looking and looking and looking. Looking so hard. That's why they didn't report it. Because they don't trust. They don't. They're used to me by now. They respect me. They don't trust people that aren't local. Makes sense. I mean, some of these people are wild and you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't trust them either. Oh, Father Nakodum is the reason we survived. We have plot armor, y'all. We're gonna live no matter what. Maybe at the end we could die, but like, I don't think this is the end. They're afraid they'll be blamed for everything. The murders and the atrocities. What's to say that Boris of yours, for God's sake, is worth a lot? Well then, thank you for saving me. If it weren't for all of you, I'd be dead. That's for sure. We have to get back to camp right away. Investigate who shot you, Father Nakodum. Don't think about that. Both of you, you're not well at all. You'll be lost in the taiga. You'll have 5 more days to recover. I'll go scouting and hunting, and Aina will stay in my place, my apprentice. The shamaness, Avina left, and by evening, Savin had a high fever and chills. The state counselor was shaking violently, and he was clearly hallucinating. Oh god, we're gonna see stuff, aren't we? I don't want him to lose his spirit. We don't have any medicine. I gave him a decoction of young fir cones. It helped, but not for long. So it's something that's affecting the animals and the people. Like, it's not just humans. Oh, so she's like she's working for Avina, so she's not Avina. I bet Avina was the one with the antlers and the big coat. Oh, this part's so cool. Okay. Should we save? Hold on, let's save. Save here. We could let her do the ritual. But like, if we don't do the ritual, are we gonna die? Like, I would think we wouldn't. I don't know. I guess we let her do it. Oh. Okay. Close your eyes, guys. Singing. That's not really a ritual. Unless it was another kind of ritual. Good morning, my son. How are you feeling? I don't remember anything. What do you remember? The last thing I remember was Vina leaving her student and going somewhere. What's her name? That's how she cured you. Yeah. See, that doesn't make sense. That's how Aina cured you. You could say she brought you back from the dead. She used very unconventional and unusual methods for us and successfully cured you. You and I need to go now to get to the construction site. Okay. But will they be able to read it? These will read. They're both literate and smarter than the rest of us. So he wants me to give this note to Father Nicole. Why? Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. That was wild! Did any of you guess that it was gonna be that kind of ritual? Because I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Oh god. This man... What is going on? Well, you can see that in a massacre. Sir Lieutenant and his detachment had reached camp when he noticed that you were lost. Boris and his gang had returned here. Got lost in the blizzard, but the fact is, Boris had brought with him some crazy escaped convicts. Oh no! He brought the convicts! They attacked the camp, seized the weapons, terrible fight began. Igor was wounded, and all the wounded ran to the railroad. We helped them, and afterwards we returned to follow him. After that, Boris, like a hero, arrogated to himself solely all the power. He declared that everyone that was necessary to destroy the Nestafirisi witchcraft, where all this whatever was coming from. She began to object, but he ordered to seize her, tie her up. Because she's a witch. Bronson stood up for her. And then he got tied up too. So both Bronson and the chick. That's all I call her. Both the lady and the Englishman have been taken as hostages by Boris. Boris is such a menace. I don't know. As a hostage, probably, yeah. Sir Lieutenant tried to fight off a trio with us, but was defeated. Boris had the advantage in the strength in arms. Besides, he started preaching again. He said there would be paradise and salvation for one. There were more people from the camp who had heard the sermons of the madman and just followed him. So what's next? Where is she? The Borisovites then dismounted and went after the locals again. Taking her with them by force, we followed them. Now the camp has been taken over by Borises. Just multiple Borises everywhere. Most of the men of the tribe have fled, some have been killed. That's probably why I think it's almost like the shaman, the medicine lady. That's probably why they're gone. Because they're probably trying to take care of, the tribe that's been, like, completely dismantled by our craziness, because we can't handle the weather, No, there's a lot more happening than that. But that's probably why they're not there, because they're trying to help their tribe. There are 2 boxes of dynamite hidden, which were saved for tunneling. Boris just didn't know about them, so we came back to stock up on dynamite sticks and pelt this gang as if it were grenades, and gather the loyal men to bring them back from the railroad camp. I'm wounded and not a military man, so I'll stay here with your permission. I think I figured out what was killing the workers, but I need a little more time. Okay. I'm sure he'll be fine, because we didn't really have an option to help him. Unless, I don't think there was anything we could have done. It didn't give me a... What's his name? Igor? No. Him. Yeah, I haven't gotten any choices for him yet. So I think... Oh, they're gonna try to burn her. If we live, I'll stake it myself. Let's make a deal. I'll go to Boris's office to negotiate. That warlock, he'll kill you. I think we need to make a plan. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk to him. If you put your left arm out to the side, you throw a stick of dynamite. You'll throw a stick of dynamite over there. It's empty. There's nobody there. If you put your right arm out, you throw the second stick over there. When I put both hands out at once, you start the attack. If a shot is fired, you attack immediately. Okay, so he's like saying, based on the signs that we do, they're supposed to do certain things. But if a shot is fired, they're just supposed to attack because, you know, that means that someone got aggressive. Okay. I knew it would come to something like this with this man. He's been calling her a witch this whole time, and now he's actually trying to burn her. It was literally like, this is why the witch trials. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy. Well, sir, state counselor, official for special assignments, Your Excellency. What do you have the honor to inform me? The fact that today they rebuilt the railroad bridge, a handcar came, followed by a train with 50. You're surrounded. You're lying. And you're lying badly. This bridge won't be rebuilt until spring, and that time will eradicate all the evil here. You don't believe me? Then watch this. Left hand. Here. They'll shoot you all here. And those who surrender will be killed on sight. And if you let the engineer and the girl go in good health, I personally guarantee you a free exit with your group and no pursuit, permission to leave, and no woman's word. It's still a lie. Yes? Well, here you go. I'll have to think about it. Think, you have 10 seconds. If you don't, you will all be exterminated. The lieutenant promised to personally stake you. For some reason, unlike you, I believe him. Release the witch. Alright, let's go. Keep your word. As a result, Boris and a bunch of remaining adherents were allowed to leave. Savin and Adriva and the engineer, Bronson, who had joined them, returned safely to their group. He won't. We've begged the spirits of the ancestors. These people will not come out of the forest alive. They will all die a brutal death today, she said. Today. Oh, this is a lot. I'm like so hyped. It's really good. The mountain spirit consumed him with his hatred. And for that he paid the price. Now the spirit has had its fill, but tomorrow it will return and take another soul. You must kill the mountain spirit, he won't leave you. Kill how? We've seen it in visions, we've seen it in the dance of fire. Your healer will know what to do. Where our rituals fail, you will do it yourself. Go to him and see. If you hadn't cured me then, if I hadn't seen so many strange things lately, I would have considered it mystical delusions, but you're right. We'll get through this. Thank you for everything. On returning to the camp, the tired and stunned were met by Dr. Igor. Having treated the wounds, he sent everyone to rest. Having experienced terrible events, people did not resist. Very quickly, Savin fell into tired, anxious sleep. So she's telling us that we need to kill it. She was also telling us that we need to let them die. Which might be prudent, but also, like, maybe she sees more than we do, that there's, but he could have killed us, and he could have killed other people, and since I have a good relationship with him, that's probably why he didn't shoot me, but she's the one that told us not to uncover the cave. Oh, it was already open, that's right. A few days later, the doctor said he had created a machine that would permanently destroy the cause of human death, but it was urgent to go to the tunnel cave. Savin and Driva. I don't remember who Z is. Who's Z? Ah. Leon. Or the sexist guy. And the recovered site manager volunteered. Okay. Alright, friends, shall we begin? Why don't you show me what you've come up with? Let me see something. I need to save again. Oh yeah, sure. Did you do this? I had to use what I had. This is a sprayer of carbolic solution. I have a lot of it, and it's very odorous, and it's supposed to repel bats. I've tested it. It works. Bats? No, it just works. What? What is this conversation? How could I test it on bats? Where would I get them? They're only here in the cave, where it's noticeably warmer. Has anyone been through here recently? The terrain on the trail looks familiar. Oops, it went away. Oh lordy. Piece of paper with a precisely rendered pattern of strange soul relief. A pattern of deep footprints, clearly not of local origin. Who could have left such a print in this tunnel? The whole group crawled through the breach in the same order. The procession was completed by 2 soldiers, carefully carrying the doctor's invention. They reached the corpse, which had not changed in posture. But there was noticeably less mold on it. The doctor began to put his invention in a state of readiness. Using 2 bellows, he began pumping air into 2 inflating rubber cushions. Authority less than 3? Wait. I don't really understand how they do that. Hada. So we lost all authority with him. He probably wanted me to just charge in like a crazy person. Everyone stopped from the darkness of the cave. Oh. Something that looked like a hideous mask with a brutal grin was coming towards them. The bats! Okay then. The fire! Right? That she was talking about? This is what it showed in the flashback. A conical stream of fine spray erupted from the apparatus with haste. There they go! Bye! The mask lost its former shape, becoming like a mere flock of small creatures that first flickered chaotically and then flew haphazardly back into the darkness. I think we fought back, Doctor. You're a hero. I had my doubts. I'm afraid it won't be for long, gentlemen. My device is already out of charge. Let's get out of here as quickly as possible. So it's the bats, then? Maybe that are transmitting the disease. I don't know. What'd they come here? That's scary. If a face like that came out of the tunnel and flew over the camp, I don't know what would happen. Until it's out, it won't start. It's winter. They're obviously avoiding flying out into the cold. They won't even come close to Sinkhole. And then, when it warms up in the spring, I can't promise anything. I hope that the mixture we sprayed in there will at least stop the growth of this infestation. Of course. The body's below ground level, so it's buried. When the priest comes here, he'll do everything Christian. I foresaw something like this coming. Soon workers will be coming here with cement stone. My investigation is coming to an end. I will insist that the management that the tunnel is dangerous and should not be penetrated further and should be blocked, and the railroad track should bypass the mountain, so it will be necessary to lay the track bypassing the mountain, whatever that means. That's what I'll put in the report. Everyone who's here should breathe through a gauze-soaked potassium iodide right now. Don't forget that your life and the lives of others, of your men, depend on it. So we lost one with her, or we gained one with her? Rushed to summon and pushed him away with all her might, falling backwards, an irregularly shaped piece of rock, the size of a suitcase, fell on the place where we, had just stood. From the strong shock, Savin hit the wall. I'll have to telegraph that the case is solved and the report is ready. There are some ambiguities there which do not fit into the general scheme, but it will be more convenient for the bosses. It will be necessary to coordinate with what's his name? Igor. So that he would not write or admit anything unnecessary. What do we do now? Good morning, Mr. Savin, mademoiselle. Have you heard? We're free. I just spoke to the driver. He's ready to go now. What about me? I'm staying, of course. Engineer Bronson and the doctor are leaving with you. The commission will be here soon. I've been called in to report. I'm coming with you. Well, of course. Having collected their things and documents, Savin and Adriva went to the train. In an hour, having settled down in the car, left the station. Wow, we did it. The doctor decided to stay. Why don't you sit down? Oh. By what right? I am a British subject. He's under arrest? Oh my god. Ah, so we're accusing him of it. Why are we accusing him? I must have missed something. Oh my, our Englishman turned out to be a spy. That's right. Our dear engineer had organized the bombing of the bridge. Someone did bomb it. I figured. I mean, how else could you take down a bridge? They were like, oh, the snow. I was like, it seems awfully like the timing was just too good. There was no other expert in the area who could have done it so skillfully and accurately. Everything pointed to him. I also found his glove not far from the bridge. I think forensics will show that it was worn by Mr. Bronson. He's the one who shot Father Nikodem. Father Nikodem recognized his Colt. And with... he recognized maybe the gun. And with Igor, we found a shell casing, very untypical. At the time, he was still in his right mind. Oh wait, that's not Igor, that's Boris. So Boris helped us find the shell casing, and he was still okay at that point. By the way, I think that Sir Bronson is also behind the incitement of Boris. Everything was going too smoothly for him, and it was to shake up Boris's psyche and create unrest among the people that he shot the bishop. He is the one who exposed your photographic evidence. I found a button from his coat in the compartment. Okay, that's what the button was. I don't think I read the description on the button. Let's see. Metal button with worn edges, stained with paint. Found amongst the torn photographic material, the intruder's caution was compromised. Not from a local weapon. Okay. Expensive origin, but that doesn't really tell us anything. So many of these people are esteemed. But what's with the bear claw still? Bronson was there before us. Must have set a trap. After all. Guess he knew I suspected him. Figured he'd eliminate me while he still had the chance. Write it off as a cave-in. Well, it's a good thing he didn't. Otherwise, they'd be gathering at my grave right now. And he wasn't going to go to... He wanted to get off early. So he wasn't going to stop where we are. He was going to get off early. He was obviously waiting for the station. Yeah, he wasn't the most experienced agent. He made a lot of serious mistakes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten caught. Okay. He'll probably swear a lot when he sees the note that we have for him. Okay, let's go see him. I've read your report, sir. I've decided to consider your actions correct, and the only correct one in the current complex and dangerous situation. Thank you for your confidence. Yes, you have me to thank for that. Under the circumstances, your actions could have been considered a state crime, but you were resourceful and savvy during the investigation. Even so. What did you think? In your presence, a construction camp was damaged, a bridge was blown up, and then had to be rebuilt in a hurry. People died. In addition, you did not interfere with the activities of the state criminal, Bronson. It was very well disguised. He was suspicious, but it was a very nervous situation. Okay. He's saying he praises us for sending the arrest warrant in good time. Recently, we received news that the police investigator, Boris, died in the taiga. The men who accompanied him died with him, probably frozen. Their bodies were found and identified. In addition, it was decided to hide all this information from the masses of the general public. Details of how it could have come to a riot will still be analyzed. Whether it was negligence of the site manager that led to such terrible consequences, or the subversive activity of Sir Bronson, or both. Either way, I am personally grateful for you for saving my daughter. About the events in the tunnel. In the newspapers, there will be a brief announcement that, due to the complexity of the situation and the instability of the rocks, it was decided to abandon the tunnel altogether to make a road to bypass the mountain mastiff. In your private letter, you asked to be heard without witnesses. Well, I'm listening to you carefully. The thing is, Celia asked me to give you this letter. She insisted on privacy at this moment. Why didn't she come with you? Afraid of causing your excellency's displeasure. I've known my daughter since she was born. She's not afraid of anything. She brought her reports to the paper. She didn't even show me. A trusted man warned me, and I read them in time. They won't publish them, of course. Fortunately, I never got to see these reports. I haven't had the honor. Give me the letter. I wish you could help, Father. She's gonna leave, isn't she? Let me give you my deepest gratitude to you for all the efforts you have made. For my upbringing. And education. Your care for my future is truly inestimable. However, I am forced to make a decision that will surely cause you suffering. After long reflections and heavy doubts, I have decided to leave my native home and go to St. Petersburg. There I plan to continue my education. This decision was not easy for me, but I feel that this is my way of self-realization and happiness. Oh, way to self-realization and happiness. I know that my actions contradict your beliefs and traditions of our family. However, I ask you to understand me and accept my choice. I realize the responsibility I'm taking on, and I'm ready for any difficulties that may arise on this path. I realize that my action will cause you pain, and for that I apologize to you, but I cannot live the life you have planned for me, much less marry someone I do not love. My heart yearns for knowledge and freedom. I'm going to St. Petersburg to enroll in the courses that she wants to take. I hope one day you will understand me and forgive me. I love you, and I will always remember everything you have done for me. He's like, sure, she can enroll in the course, but I'm making you keep an eye on her. So we're just gonna follow her. No, not again. Get out of my office. Get out. I didn't yell, of course. I guess I held back, but for a moment I was afraid he would burn me with his gaze. Gives you permission. By the way, I ran. She's like, no, you're not going to be my bodyguard. It's fine. I ran into the room so suddenly. There's a lot of paperwork on the desk. Am I interrupting? I haven't gotten around to it yet. There's reports, documents from the construction site. Even some kind of confession from Bronson. I'll read it later, and there's a special letter among them. Father Nikodem is dead. While still there at the construction site, he gave me a note to take to the rector of the Resurrection Cathedral, Father Nicholas. I did it. That's where I found out. The telegram came in the morning yesterday. Father Nikodem died while serving lunch. He fell and died immediately. Some sort of like heart problems. I guess like heart attack maybe. I feel so sorry for him. He was such a good priest. Although I myself am not a believer at all, I love to listen to his sermons. How he spoke. Yes, he was a rare man. Very clever. If only all priests could do that. What did he pass on? Dabbit read the letter in front of me. I wanted to leave, but he held me back. There was an attachment for me personally, and it was up to Father Nicholas to give it to me or not. Why Father Nicholas? Perhaps he was Father Nikodem's confessor. I also asked him about it, but received some vague answer. Probably that note contained a personal confession, and in a separate one, a message somehow connected with this confession, and a request to give it to me after his death. He gave me both of them in the end. So he's stating, Bronson is stating who he is. I was invited to participate in the Siberian Railway project. My mission was to find ways to cooperate between Britain and Russia. Very excited about this opportunity. I was amazed at the scale of construction. He says that it's not him. So he denies the guilt. Okay. Father Nicholas, Archpriest of the Resurrection Cathedral. I'm writing this letter in a simple worldly way, in case I cannot tell you about everything personally. I was sent by the Holy Sword Oh, snod. Forgot. To build the Trans-Siberian Railway in 1895. My ministry was to be a spiritual mentor. Okay. My ministry began with the construction of a temporary wooden temple. The workers listened to me with all their attention, sincerely striving to find peace of mind in the hustle and bustle of their work. But their work was dangerous. Sometimes accidents happened. People were injured, maimed, sometimes even died. However, despite the difficulties, the construction continued. The rails stretched further and further. I saw people work together. I'm not afraid to say that over time I've managed to become an integral part of the builders' lives. He didn't say anything about us. He was just saying that he was grateful, too, to be a part of it. Oh, here's the one for us, okay. I am addressing you in a simple worldly way. I, a sinner, am no longer on this earth. There is nothing to hide now. I repented everything to Father Nicholas. I'm writing to you what is connected with your case. It's only for you and no one else. Last year in the fall, I went hunting. Sometimes I have to shoot God's creatures to feed the meat to the living. What does that mean? Engineer Bronson and the lieutenant, both passionate hunters, came with me. We scattered through the taiga, and my rifle malfunctioned. A cartridge case exploded. I was concussed. I came to my senses already in camp of the natives. They knew me well. They called me Russian shaman and treated me in a surprisingly kind and respectful way. They here we call them, I'm not going to say that, but we call them pagans. But they have the wisdom of centuries, and they know a lot of things that we would be good to know. That's where their shaman came to see me. More precisely, the shamaness Avina. She cured me, I can't even imagine. She said she persuaded my spirit not to leave my body. Anyway, I was on the mend in no time. But I showed bodily weakness, I sinned. So, that is what happened. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, what is happening? And then it was the next day, and I was like, alright. I'm okay with it being the next day. So I refused to marry you. So he was gonna marry us to her? I'm so confused. But how was I supposed to know that that's what that meant? I thought that it meant, like, you know, she was gonna perform an actual ritual. Didn't know it was gonna be that kind of ritual. Okay. This is the folk tale. One day, new people started coming. They entered the taiga without permission, cut down trees, built cities and roads. They brought fire, water, and their faith with them. New people did not listen to the warnings of the shamans. New people did not believe the wise ones. He began to punish new people, caused earthquakes, destroyed everything. So this one shaman didn't give up, and he defended the camp. Despite what the spirit of the mountain would do, And so because of that one person, demands an annual tribute. Focal infectious paranoia. It's no longer used, it is outdated. A natural, deadly infectious disease caused by fungus. Belongs to a group of so-called neglected diseases. Many people just have an innate immunity to it, but some people do die from it. And it's said that natives get like a non-fatal form. And it's not only humans, it affects everything. It's really cool that they give you all the information. Oh, we're gonna join an agency. That's so exciting. Okay, this is so many letters. I cannot stop her. That's every single letter. I can't stop her. She's going. You need to protect her. Ordered her to be watched in St. Petersburg. Like, I'm gonna do that. Wow. That was a lot that happened. See, the doctor was neutral. So if I wouldn't have chosen that one part with the ritual, if I would have just bypassed it, then I guess we would have married her. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think we were that close, you know? I don't know. Bronson was detained by the Russians, I'll just say that, under a pretext of espionage. Although there was little evidence against him, his connection to the bombing of the bridge was proven and caused a diplomatic scandal. He denied all the charges, insisting there was a misunderstanding. London demanded an explanation, and the case got bogged down in endless proceedings and correspondence. So you think he just died, like, waiting for a response? Yeah, our lack of common language made him bitter. He became rude and intolerant of any weakness. His attitude towards people and his methods of administration became harsher. Yeah, well, I couldn't exactly side with him all the time. Nick owed him. He passed away. Ivina grieved deeply over the death of him. She had strong feelings. She told everyone that the white shaman was a man of rare soul. Tribe built a symbolic bonfire in honor of his bright memory, which they keep for a long time. His attack on the camp nearly cost. Oh, Boris's attack on the camp nearly cost him his life. The injury forced him to rethink his work and his attitude to risk. He became more cautious and suspicious. He began delegating duties more and acting less personally, sometimes going weeks without getting fresh air. Eventually, his suspicion turned into paranoia and total control. Workers began to whisper about him as a man with a disorder. Few wanted to join him on the not many wanted to join him on the construction site of their own free will. His acquaintance with Savin and the opinion he formed about him during the investigation made him think about his future. After that, he moved to a quieter position, preferring peace of mind. The new job allowed him to focus on his own peaceful life, so that's a good ending for him. He let him go, but the local shamans took justice into their own hands. They say they summoned the spirits of the ancestors who sent wild animals after the mad investigator. The remnants of his group disappeared into the taiga, and he was swallowed by a pack of wolves. Well, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Events during the investigation of the construction site incidents did not give him enough time to focus on solving the contamination problem. He had no one to base his theories on and no one to share his hunches with. As a result, he was unable to complete the vaccination in time. All infected people were burned. So we should have stayed and not gone after the guy, I guess. Then, because we weren't there. So their friendship became a long-term partnership, and he was able to actually let her join his spy work. Because he knew she was good. That's really good. Wow. Wow, so that was really good. I kind of wish I would have made some different decisions, but like, it's the kind of game where it's like you don't really know till you play it the first time sometimes what certain things mean. And some of the translations were kind of like, you know, like I was really confused sometimes what the game was trying to tell me. But I knew going into the game after playing the demo that it would be a little bit like that. But I can't find myself getting frustrated with it because it's just translation. And, like, I'm happy that I was able to play this game in English at all. So, you know. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys did too. And know that if you want to try out the game, that you can make all different kind of choices. You don't have to do what I did, you know? So there's multiple different endings. You can determine the fate of many people, I'm sure. I usually take the safest route. Or what I think is the safest route. Doesn't always work out that way, as you can see. But anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will be back with more soon. Many more fun games to come.